It's time. Hey, you're probably wondering how we got here. Well, it's a long story. We'll get to that. But first, let's start from the very beginning. It all started when I decided to build an arena. I randomly came up with this idea, and it got me excitedly sketching this lovely artwork, and I think it turned out pretty great. It's definitely not high-quality art,
That belongs in a museum.
but it gets the point across. To bring this concept to life, I first had to find a nice plot of land and level it out. This took a bit more effort than I expected because there's a lot of debris that I had to clear out, and I really wasn't fully anticipating how big this thing was going to be. So it was a lot of work. The next step was to create the interior circle, and of course it's difficult because leveling terrain in this game is just tedious as hell. I wanted to make this arena big so that I could fight maybe multiple enemies at once and they wouldn't get aggroed onto my personally built structures. It took quite a while with all the difficulty of the terrain, but I finally got a nice circle, finished it up nicely, and look at how big this thing is. This is a massive arena. Quite the undertaking for me, being not the best builder in the game. I wanted to make this arena have a nice interior section, but since building is not my normal everyday job, I didn't want this to be such a huge undertaking. I just made it 3 blocks wide. But of course, before I fully encircle this arena with the commitment of a 3-block wide, I wanted to make sure this actually could fit. I wanted to see if all of these things that I had in mind could fit, like this staircase. Kind of just a proof of concept to see if I could make the nice interior upstairs section, I guess. It worked pretty good. I didn't like the clearance in my head, but it does get changed in the future, but it was a proof of concept. So now I started on the exterior. This took so long to actually level out all the terrain and get the exterior circle going, and it took a little bit of logistics and not exactly math in my head, but trial and error. At one point I kind of knocked everything down and started fresh, using little struts from the center or the corners of the actual interior section so I could get everything lined up properly. Then it was just going around the entire circle doing this and clearing a lot of terrain, occasional graylings, and it was a perfect circle with an interior and an exterior. I got to work on the flooring and a little bit of the sides, and I had trouble creating the perfect, nice, beautiful corners, and so I called in a friend.
I don't know, man. This ain't gonna look good.
This is definitely not ideal. So let me put one of these right here.
There we go.
One of these right here. And then one of those right there. And then one of those right there. I mean, that looks pretty good.
Yeah.
So do that for all of the 65 corners.
Me.
He's the guy I did my original playthrough with, and he was kind of the build master. Once we had the template, we could just use that to complete the circle and make it look at least kind of not terrible. It's, it's clipped, it's not perfect, but hey, it does work, and I think that's kind of a standard for the game.
Is that a hole? What the fuck is that?
What?
There's a hole.
What hole?
My butthole! Oh.
What hole?
There was a hole, I fixed it.
Okay, thank you for your service.
Yeah, we're kind of idiots.
Okay, hey.
I'm trapped outside.
After rescuing my friend with some extra doors, I put some doors on the opposite side, showed off the idea I had for the upper deckers.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
going to be a second, maybe a third row, depending on how big I can make it.
The second and third row were easy to make, but I did scrap this design in favor of something that left a little more headroom for the inboard section.
And then down here, somebody will go, "Get shot, dogs!"
Exactly. I had that idea.
We came up with an idea for windows behind all the stands.
How That's not bad. I like that. I like that.
I worked alone a bit for a while trying to create the concept for the VIP section for the king or the jarl, and trying to give a little more headroom for the downstairs areas. I liked the concept, so I rolled with it. Now there's enough headroom downstairs, and the jarl's section looks quite nice. Little beautification here and there, and then the kings and jarls section needs a little bit of work. Nothing too fancy just yet. Not too bad though. I thought it would be pretty awesome to make a bit of an underground gladiator prison of some sorts where they could walk into the arena from underground. I thought it would be awesome. It didn't work out. I couldn't get the excavation right. So I kind of just scrapped that idea and made it an extension off of the back of the arena itself. That's cool, but it works. The little prison itself went through a lot of iterations, and the design changed and the interior changed, so I'm really not going to show it all, but it was pretty fun to make. Since there was now a big old blob jutting through the middle of the arena, I had to create a new stair section kind of going above that, so that's what I did here. I finished some more of the opening windows and made a concept piece for how these stands were going to look, now that I've changed the whole design. I just noticed in this edit that I don't have a clip number 69. I have no idea why. It's disappointing. It's the nicest clip and it's gone. My friend rejoined me and he helped me make this beautiful staircase.
Wait, I can't fit though. It won't let me go up.
Like most things in this build, it took a while for us to actually get it right.
It's good enough.
Then it was time to fill in the upstairs floor, and the gaps were a little bit tedious.
You ever get a hankering for a corn dog?
Oh, dude. Corn dogs.
Woo.
One of the most underrated foods of all time.
I made a few updates to the king/jarl's VIP area. I don't know about you, but whenever I build something, things always just end up changing with the actual flow of how I'm feeling during the actual build itself. I don't really have much of a plan. I just roll with it, Very similarly to how architects do it in real life. Planning ahead and blueprints, they're all overrated, right? I used these iron poles to create a little structure so it could actually support the roof. I didn't record everything, but you get the gist. We used these roofing pieces to make a roof. It looks great, I think. I don't have the clip of us figuring out how to do the corners, but yeah, it was a struggle for sure. The most difficult part was in creating this roof piece for the two little VIP sections, and I let my friend really take control of this because he's kind of the build master, like I said earlier. He ended up figuring it out, and I think it looks pretty awesome. Replicating it on the other side was difficult, but we did manage to make it work. Even though the dimensions were a little different, it still looks pretty much the same. We changed the VIP section so that they'd have a little bit better of a view.
That's the one. A little bit of space in the front and some space in the back. No.
Now you can stand here also.
Yeah.
Couple of extra chairs so the king or jarl won't be lonely.
Look at this.
My big old sword.
Oh, yeah.
Having built the whole structure with wood, I knew that reinforcements would be beneficial because I knew enemies would probably attack, I knew I'd accidentally slash it, so wood was gonna break quite often. So I tried out a few different options for reinforcements. I couldn't get something to work and it looked good. I don't know, I scrapped it. We'll go with wood, it's good enough. But if you have some ideas for how I can reinforce the inner wooden section, please let me know. I'd prefer to not have to repair it all the time. At this point, the main structure was pretty much done. I love how this looks, and the rain makes it look even more incredible. Then I took some time to make some stairs for the interior bench seating. I did a little bit of interior decorating, and I'm not going to show that just yet because that'll be part of the final feature. A little bit of banner decoration outside, but I guess that's pretty much it, so let's show it off. I really love the way this arena turned out. You walk in and it's massive, and you have so much space to fight and really not hurt any of the walls. I like these battlements, but I think it might be a little better if there were kind of 6 in a circle. I'm not sure exactly, but the way it looks is just awesome. I think it's incredible. There's a lot of room to really just fight any enemies. I don't know if I'd put a troll in here, but it'd probably work because it's just so massive. But if we go back inside, I want to showcase, we have Eichthier's Pub, and you can take a seat right here and have a nice beverage. I don't know, I think it looks pretty cool. But if we continue on, we've got Bone Master's Club Shop, which just makes sense. And I left some space. I figured, you know, if you guys have any ideas for what I can add, please let me know. It's not like I don't have any ideas, but I just wanted to let you guys come up with some ideas for some little shops or, you know, things that I can add on the inside. But the next one right here is Draugr Shake Shack, because of course you gotta have some sort of milkshakes in an arena. It just makes sense, and the only shake is the muck shake. But let's move on. I don't really know what to do with the space over here, and I'm gonna have to eventually take out the prison because I would prefer it continue on. Then we go upstairs and we have a nice little secondary VIP lounge. I like it quite a bit. Then we go downstairs again, and hey look, we have another bar. It's Odin's Bar, smaller than Eichthier's, but cooler. And they have a pretty smaller selection, but I think it's just a little bit better quality, and if we go in, yeah, you can see it a little bit better. You know, top shelf stuff, it's a classy bar. Around over here we have Sheila's Shields and More, because, you know, nice little shop over here. A little more blank space, and then we get to Thor's Cuisine. I think this is kind of cute. I don't know. I think the storefront doesn't look that great, but it's okay. Employees only over there. And yeah, I think I couldn't really fit an actual stone oven in here, so I think, you know, cooking with magic, good enough. I think it looks pretty cool. That's all the shops that I made, but let's take a look at the King's Quarters. I gave them some food. I think it's, you know, relatively regal, nothing too fancy, but they have a good view as well. Not that anybody will ever really sit here, but it's cool. Then we have the general seating. I really like the way this turned out with the stairs and everything. They're not perfectly aligned or anything like that. I don't want to put in the effort, but, you know, they have a good view too. It's not 3 rows, it's 2, but there's, you know, room to walk around, and I like the way it looks. Then we have a secondary VIP section right here. Nothing too fancy. But let's go over here, we'll jump down, and we'll take a look at the prison section that I made just for the intro of the video. You've got, you know, choose your weapon and armor kind of thing, and the jail itself, it's, you know, it's probably something that I'll get rid of because it was pretty much just conceived for the intro to this video. It's not really something that I need, but I do kind of like it. I don't know if I'll get rid of it. We'll see. I would prefer that the whole interior go a full circle around, but I don't know. If you enjoyed this build, please let me know. I had a lot of fun with my friend building it. He was very helpful, so much appreciated there. And yeah, I think let's go ahead and see what happened in that battle in the intro. I will say that in order to actually get the shots and spawn the Seeker itself, I did have to make my friend battle this thing because he couldn't get into the creative mode or the dev mode. So yeah, he's actually the one fighting this, and I'm recording from above. But let's just watch this incredible battle.
Yeah. Well, I died, so.
You did good, son. Uh-oh, it's attacking.
R.I.P.
Since my friend died in the arena, I rushed down to take care of this thing because it was attacking the walls. Not good, and I had full gear, regular stuff, so I just pretty much destroyed it.
I got it.
Not the most climactic end to the video, but that was exactly what happened. And obviously he was handicapped because he had padded armor, not the carapace armor, which I had. So that was kind of the point, you know, it's an arena, you're supposed to be handicapped a little bit. It was gonna be a tough fight anyway. But that's pretty much it. I love the way this arena turned out. If you have any suggestions for how I can make it a little better, please let me know. If you enjoyed this video, like it, subscribe, comment, whatever you want to do or don't. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.